Thank you very much, Francis. As usual, opposition parties are here. They've been listening to the speech. And with me right here is the shadow spokesperson or shadow minister of finance of the Democratic Alliance, Mr. David Maynard. Dave, the minister touched on a whole number of issues with regarding to our finances. What's your take?
Well, at the end of the day, as expected, the minister spoke about tax proposals to raise 28 billion rand in additional revenue in the next financial year. But we were disappointed. We thought that the minister should be speaking rather about cutting spending rather than raising taxes. In the next financial year, we will be spending up to 14.3 billion rand on bloated executives and legislatures throughout South Africa. And we think that there is further scope for spending cuts, and that is why we have proposed a comprehensive spending review, so that we can review spending in all three spheres of government, so that we can reprioritize spending over the medium term. That is the only way that we will be able to prioritize funding in order to give opportunities, especially to young people who do not have jobs or have given up looking for jobs in South Africa.
Dave, thank you very much. That is David Maynard, the shadow's treasurer of the Democratic Alliance. And now it's over to my colleague, Bulelane Phillips.
Well, thank you very much, Manelisi. We're continuing to take political reactions from the various political parties. Up next and joining me is Mr. Steve Swart from the ACDP. Now, going into this budget, we've seen quite a lot of political parties saying that it needs to be a carefully balanced act. In your view, do you think the minister has done, struck the right notes?
We think so. One needs to bear in mind that he had to stick to the strict fiscal consolidation path to satisfy investors and credit ratings agencies. And we believe he's largely succeeded in that regard. We see that he's kept to the government expenditure ceiling and that the budget deficit is coming in at 3.1%, which we welcome. And of course, there was a 28 billion rand shortage with income tax that had to be raised. And that was a bit of a shock when you see the tax rate at the highest rate increased to 45% for those earning 1.5 million. I think those high earners will then say, well, we need to make sure that every cent we pay in tax is properly spent. And from our side, we've always said we must address corrupt and wasteful expenditure estimated to be 30 billion rand a year. If we do that, then we don't have to tax so many people. And quite correctly, they will then say we need to ensure we get value for every cent we pay in tax.
All right, Mr. Steve Swart from the ACDP giving his views on what the finance minister has delivered this afternoon. We take it back to the other side of the precinct where Manelisi is standing by for more reaction.
Thank you very much, Bulelane. And with me right here is the Secretary General of the ANC, Mr. Kweta Mantashe, who was listening attentively inside here. What's your take, Secretary General?
Manelisi, I think the Minister of Finance tried very hard under difficult conditions. You must remember, the economy only grew by 0.5% in the last financial year. Projection is 1.3% growth. It's not good economic growth. And when the economy is not growing very well, the revenue base is smaller. But the allocations that he has made are carefully considered. Put a lot of emphasis on transformation and emphasize participation in using the term inclusive economic growth. Means participation rather than waiting for delivery. Very important. More important to me was the thought of, yes, put more money on higher education, but the correct thing will be to look through the education system from early childhood development right through, because if we take all the resources and throw them at the problem of higher education and ignore basic education and early childhood development, in the long term, the system is going to collapse. We must put resources on the whole system, the whole value chain. Is quite important to me. A lot of work will be done in the economic development framework and the growth of the economy. Sectors that are identified, SMEs, agriculture, but more important to us is when we talk of money in those sectors, we must know exactly what we want to do with them.
Thank you very much, the Secretary General of the ANC, Mr. Kweta Mantashe. Francis, I'll take it back to you.
All right.